Hi guys, this is Cleo.
This is Vi.
And this is 20 something. So, hey guys, welcome back to our podcast. We firstly just want to start by saying thank you real quick before we get into this topic for today. This idea of this podcast was like a spur of the moment thing for both of us. Mm-hmm. So we really just appreciate you guys listening and tuning in. So stay tuned for this episode.
When we created this podcast, Cleo and I knew that we wanted to talk about marriage and children. But it just so happened that last weekend, Cleo saw a video on YouTube of these three daughters and these three mothers talking about their values and their ideas and beliefs on marriage and children. Mm-hmm. So we wanted to kind of emulate the video and ask a few questions that they asked in the video so we could have our own discussion. Yeah. And then obviously if we have more questions and stuff pops up, then, it's just going to flow. Yeah. But yeah, we just thought it was a really good concept. So we're going to use it for this podcast. So if you want to hear our ideas on marriage and our ideas on children and our beliefs and stuff and views,
stay tuned.
Yes, ma'am. So the first question is, how do you feel about marriage, like, as a traditional institution? Like, do you feel like it is or it isn't? Or, like, how?
I mean, I feel like it can be traditional and it doesn't. Like, it can be and it can't be. Like, it just depends on, like, you and the type of person you are and your partner is. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I know some people feel as though, like, one of the girls in the video felt like it was archaic.
Yeah, I know. That was when she said that. I was like,
really? I was like, archaic. That's a bit much.
I thought it was the only one. I was like, when I heard her say that, I was like, maybe I don't know what the fucking technical.
Archaic just sounds like very like
savage, caveman.
Yeah, very caveman. I was thinking like, okay, I don't like the way she's making it seem as though almost in a bad light. You know what I mean? So I don't know how she feels like that, but for me, I don't feel like it's like that. But I do think that obviously society, like, use it highly. That's something, people really care about. But for me, like, I feel like if it's important to you, then you should do it. I don't feel like anyone should be stopped from, marrying their significant other if they so choose, So that's how I view it essentially.
Yeah, and I agree. Traditional, yes. I feel like it's a traditional institution. Like, that's the words they use. Archaic was a reach for me, at least, like, because her reasons were basically that, it's just, it started with, like, selling women basically as, like, property. She just felt like it was property. And I do understand, because a lot of cultures still, like, you give, like, bride price and all this stuff. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. So I can see it in that light.
Because when she said it, I was like, okay. At first I was like, archaic. Yeah. And then I was like, maybe because we live here, so we don't think of it like that. Mm-hmm. But in a lot of places, like, it is. It actually is, though. Be like that.
But I was thinking more in the terms of, like,
our lives.
Yeah, in America.
Yeah. Like, So for me, no.
But I think for her, it was one of those things where, like, she knows of different places that do that, like, have bride price and stuff like that. And I guess to her, that kind of turns her off. Mm-hmm.
Which I can understand, because it is kind of sickening.
Yeah, it is a little bit sickening. If it's not like
if it's like how
not consensual.
Yes. Yeah. Underage fucking girls. And shit to get married.
Exactly. But there's a lot of clips of that shit.
I don't even know.
It'd be like 6-year-old men marrying like 14-year-olds. It's ridiculous.
Yes. Before they even give birth, they already claim the kid. Like, what the fuck? Yep. So we're not gonna talk about that. We are talking about in our lives personally. Yeah. So that's really what this is gonna be about, because we have similar views on, like, the concepts. But then, like, the little details, I feel like, is where me and Cleo start to, like, disagree.
Yeah. Well, so how do you feel about, like, society and do you think it's, like, made an impact on your decisions about, like, marriage and kids? Well, we can stick on marriage. You can answer both. It doesn't matter.
Okay, so no, because I don't really see marriage like it's not a plan in my future. Like, it's not like anything that's been planned. Like, if I get married, I get married. If I don't, then I don't. So I feel like society's pressures, quote unquote pressures of, ladies having to get married hasn't pushed me into direction of wanting to get married, but it's made me, like, question why marriage is such a forced,
so, do you feel like you could go, like, your whole life and not be married?
Yes, but I feel like
But would you need somebody with you?
Yes. I was literally about to say that.
I was about to say, like, I was
cannot
really,
be alone.
Girl, you don't know how I'm going to ask you that. I was like, okay, is this girl? Because we've been playing these questions or whatever. So I just didn't know. We've been trying not to talk about it with each other, you know, so we can save for this podcast. But yeah, I just didn't know if she wanted to, like, live alone or something.
Oh,
like,
no. See, I feel like when I say I don't want to get married,
that's how people think.
I don't even want to say I don't want to get married. I feel like when I say I don't see myself getting married, people assume.
Well, then what's your reasons why?
Why? I don't feel like I'm going to get married. Because
I know I'm just blurting questions out, but girl, I just want to get them out.
Okay. No, I just feel like, the reason why I don't see it happening for me personally is because I haven't even been in, like, the play version of that. Like, since I've been single my whole life.
So you feel like since it hasn't happened, it's...
Like, not that it's not going to happen, but
no, but like since it hasn't happened up till now.
Yeah.
I see.
Like, since I have been single, like, all my child life, my adult life, I feel like I'm so used to, you know, not having to cater to anybody but myself.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird, like, a weird concept to think, like, oh, you know, I have to live my life in the same house with somebody for, like, someone that, like, obviously my siblings, I have siblings, but it's like, that's by force. Like, I couldn't choose my siblings. Yeah. Knowing that I can't choose my siblings and I have to live with them, obviously you are more likely to compromise. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't throw my siblings away.
Yeah.
But if I meet somebody and they start to annoy me, like, in my head I'm just like, why am I even like pissing myself off still?
Even in the marriage.
Like, I don't even know, because I haven't had a boyfriend, so I don't even I don't even know if, like, I would be. I just, honestly, you guys, I feel like I would be a shitty girlfriend, not because I'm a bad person, but just because I feel like I'm not romantic in the way you need to be to show somebody that they're not just friends with benefit. Like, I feel like my boyfriend would feel like I treat all my friends the same and I just have sex with him, and that's the only difference. I feel
like she just feels like that, y'all, because she hasn't been in. Well, I don't know. This is just my opinion, but, you know, because she hasn't been in, you know, a relationship yet. Maybe that's like her, or that's like your feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, because my feelings might change about marriage. Like, I'm not. I don't.
It just seems like you. Well, from the past conversations we had, it seems like you have.
I'm not
strong views.
I'm not turned. I don't know how to explain it. Like, for me, it's really hard to explain because I don't know how to use the right words. Marriage is not something that I'm against. Like, I would never, ever, ever get married, God forbid, but, like, I don't give a shit if I get, like, it's not, if I never got married and someone was like, oh, that's why you're not married, that's not going to be an insult to me. Like, like, it's not really that big of a deal. Yeah. Like, for sure, I know I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life because I like my space, but I also like people. It's weird. Like, I just like my space, I feel like, too much. To feel like I need to work something out if I feel like it's not working out because we're already married and married people are supposed to work shit out. No. Like, I feel like if I got married, like, in my head, any little thing, I'd be like, might as well just get a fucking divorce at this point.
And that's like, the video we were watching, y'all, like, the moms, that's the point that they were making. They were saying, like, you know, to the other women, the younger women there, that, like, how many times are you gonna, like, just stop, you know, stop making relationship work? Is it going to be like 3 years? And, you know, like, I can understand if you're in a relationship with someone, because someone in the video, like, she was saying that when she was in a relationship with, like, her boyfriend, she felt as though she wasn't herself. Yeah. So I can completely understand wanting to get out of that relationship. I've been there. You know what I'm saying? But if it's, like, minor things, which you just mentioned, I just feel like it's not that maybe you're not saying you would obviously just, you know, divorce them. But, like, I feel like you know, we can work through it. We can work through that. You know what I'm saying?
See, but that's because you want to be married. Like, you, right? Like,
but I'm just saying, in a relationship, that's just what you do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're with someone you really love, you're not going to want to just be like one thing. Oh my God. Like, they'll piss you off.
See, but if I love you, then it won't annoy me that much. So I feel like, but if I feel like.
Okay, but when you're in a relationship, that's what you're working towards, yeah?
What, to be married?
No, you're working towards having a strong relationship. I'm not talking about as far as you're working towards marriage, because that's not everybody's goal. Okay. Clearly, that's not yours. But I'm saying you're working towards having a stronger bond with that person, right? So I'm saying, like, you know, if they do something to upset you, it's not going to be, oh my God. we can't do it anymore. You know what I'm saying? I would hope that's not what it would be.
No, I wouldn't. I know I would not do that because I don't do that with my friends already. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give, like, if I care about you, then I give you multiple benefits of the doubts. Like, to the point where sometimes Cleo's like, maybe you should just relax on the friendship a little bit and give it some space.
Yeah.
But, so I know I wouldn't do that, because if I do that with my friendships, obviously, if I like a guy as much as I like my friends, and
but then, you told me that you feel stronger about your friendships than you do relationships.
Because
which I agree with. I feel the exact same way. So you just, you know. I
don't know. Because I don't know, because it's really hard to talk about a relationship that I've never been in. Yeah. So, but I just know, like, thinking about it, just because I know that a lot of people who haven't had a boyfriend, but they still want to be married and they look forward to it. Like, I don't have those feelings. Yeah. So it's like, I don't want to be like, oh, well, maybe it's because I haven't had a boyfriend. So that's why. Like, because no, those other people haven't had boyfriends and they still want to get married. And it's just like, I just really cannot imagine myself like being married, at least not at the point where, like, it's seen as a great age to be married at. Like, I know for sure 25, the engaged situation and married, that shit's not gonna happen. Like, not. I might get married later, like 30 something, like 33, 34. That to me is like, okay, you know, it's not that like alien, it's not that unrealistic. But people that are talking about getting married at a certain age and by a certain age, like, do you actually feel like you have to be married at a certain age?
No, I do not feel like you have to be married at a certain age. I feel like the way people view, like, I know a lot of parents are like this, not my parents, but like are very, oh, when are you going to get married? What time? What age? You know, they're rushing it. I was never brought up like that, and I feel like it's just a bit odd. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's different for everybody, but when people ask me, like, oh, Cleo, what age do you want to, you know, get married at? For me, it's kind of like, girl, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Whenever God feels like it's right, whenever I meet the right person, like, I can't really say.
You can't put a timestamp.
Exactly. Like, I can't put a timestamp on when, you know, any of that's going to happen, you know, because at the end of the day, it's like you just have to go with each day at a time. You know what I'm saying? And right now, where my life is at, like, there's really no one for me to meet. And I'm, 22 right now? So.
Exactly.
You know, 25 is just around the corner, right? Pretty much. You know what I'm saying? So, are we to say that within like 3 years' time, I'm gonna all of a sudden find somebody and get married? Could happen.
It could.
But
let's be realistic.
Let's really be realistic. It probably won't. You know, unless y'all got somebody from. Oh my gosh.
Okay. So this is actually a serious question I want to ask you.
Yeah.
So, you know how you have life goals? Okay. Is marriage like is not to be married and stop, like, not saying marriage is your goal in life, but is marriage a life goal for you, not your whole reason for being alive? But is that like like, you know, I want to finish and have this career and and buy my own house and be married?
If I'm honest with you, at this moment right now, with the age I'm at, marriage is actually something that I actually really don't think about. Okay. Like, I more think about being in a relationship with somebody, because for me, marriage just seems like something so distant, and I just haven't met that right person, that it's hard for me to, like, dream up a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, I sometimes think about who I'll be married to, but it's not more, like, you know, I just want to know who the guy might be. Like, it just interests me to see what they look like more so. You know, but it's never like, oh, like, our marriage is gonna be like this or that. Like, sometimes I'll think about it, or like if someone talks to me about you know, like, what their ideal marriage would be, and like they ask me what I think, like, I can tell you like some things I would want in like our I guess our, what do you call it, ceremony. But, you know, I can't think of anything like. I lost my train of thought. I was talking. I lost my train of thought. Okay. But just in general, like, right now, I would say that it's not like a main goal for me. But maybe like in like 3 years' time or something, if I meet the right person, then sure.
Like once you're done with school and like.
Like, and I have like established career. Like, I just don't want anything for my life that I know I can't afford right now. Yeah. You know.
Exactly. For me, I will answer my own question. Marriage is not a goal, I think, at this point. Like, from the first bit.
I'm sure you guys can tell.
Yeah, like, it's like, and I actually, and you know what's funny? What? I think about it, I feel like more than you.
Really?
Even though it's not a
goal.
But
do you feel like that's because of pressures in your family?
Yes, that's literally the only reason.
I was going to even ask her that question. So, do you, well, you pretty much answered it, but do you feel like your family has, made you feel the way you feel about marriage?
Honestly, I love my parents, and, they're still married. They haven't gotten a divorce, and, nothing, my parents don't, at least when they have spats, they don't do it in front of us, so I never really see them argue, unless it's, minor things. So I'm not going to say my parents have a bad relationship, and that's why I don't want to get married. But because their relationship worked out for them, I feel like they feel like there's no reason why I wouldn't be work out for you. Yeah, why I wouldn't be married. Yeah. Like, what's the reason? Yeah. And it's so annoying because... But
they also throw it in your face.
Yeah, and I feel like I don't want to sound like I don't want to get married because I'm bitter at my parents, because it's really not that reason, but just because I've seen the extreme of how marriage is so important to them, and I don't feel the same way. It's made me really just look at other people who want to get married so badly at a certain time, at least before a certain time. It's made me feel like it's not genuine, even if it really is genuine for them, because I'm just why do you feel like you need to be married at this time? Because I know for me, my parents, they used to always I feel my parents basically raised me to be a wife. Wow. Not to be a good person. If I didn't do anything, if, for example, I started doing chores, and I'm Nigerian, so this is not far-fetched, I'm not pulling out numbers on my ass. I moved around so much that I have timestamps of how old I was for the house I lived in. I started doing chores, I remember washing dishes and stuff at in the first house I lived in, and I left the house when I was 6. So 5 or 6, I used to remember my mom used to bring a step chair, and I'm the first daughter. Yeah. So that means for all my Nigerian people, I don't know about other African countries, but the first daughter is basically the second mom. So if my mom isn't home, even though I have an older brother, they'll look to me to okay, get everyone else in order. Yeah. And I have 3 younger siblings, and then my older brother is only a year older than me. So really, I used to be over him too, which was so fucking weird, because it's the nigga's obviously older than me. So my mom would bring a step chair, and I remember we would all be watching TV and stuff, and she would call me. She'd be like, Vi, come and wash the plates, come do the dishes. So obviously I'm gonna help her, because when I was younger I used to actually like doing stuff with my mom, chores with my mom and stuff. Yeah. Until I realized I was the only one really doing chores. I was like, how come I'm doing chores all by myself with this lady? When my friends come over, she would tell my friend, oh, go and get... Because my other friend was also Nigerian, so we both would wash the plates. And she was the only daughter in her family. She had 2 older brothers. And she would be the ones washing the plates, even though her older brothers were 3-4 years older than her. She'll be the one washing the plates with me, 6 years old, okay? We moved, and I remember I'm 8. And even my younger sister told me, she was like, yeah, I remember I used to think that you were so much so grown, because that you always got called out to go to the kitchen to help mommy, and to go mop the house and clean the bathroom. I started cleaning the master's bedroom at 8. Mop the house, and then dry the house with a towel so my little siblings don't slip. It's I've just been trained to be a parent, to be a mother, to be a wife, to the point where it's just I'm drained. I'm kind of overdoing that. I'm tired of doing that. It's been 21 years. I'm really fed up. Yeah. It's not, there's nothing exciting anymore. It's not oh, I can't wait to be a mother and to get to experience. I feel like I've been doing that all my life. Yeah. I'm actually tired of it. And when I wouldn't do something right, if she okay, I remember high school is when she really was making, not even high school, I want to say middle school is when she really started making sure that I knew what my responsibilities were. Because before, obviously, I would have to do stuff, but this is when I got sent to Nigeria for school for a little bit when I was 10, and I came back basically when I was 12 going on 13. So when I got back, it was always oh, bye, I have school, everyone else has school, bye, come downstairs, you need to make food for the family. We have 5 kids, 2 parents, and then there was always guests, family members, what is it called, staying at our house. So it would always be 8-9 people in the house. Yeah. And you want me to come every week, every other night, to make food for all these people? Yeah. At some point it becomes ridiculous. So then when I complain, it's oh, you're always complaining, you're always back talking, no one's gonna want to marry you, no one's gonna want to marry you, you're not gonna get a husband, you're not gonna, I don't care. And at the point I don't give a shit about that. you keep saying this like I'm supposed to be sad that nobody's gonna want me, but it's like, if you get upset because I don't know how to cook and I don't eat a lot, you that eats a lot, you need to know how to cook. Why am I the one that needs to know how to cook if I don't even...
So in all of this, you don't feel as though, like, you're not feeling like...
No, that's why
I don't want to do this because
my parents...
Fuck you, parents. You
no,
know what I mean?
I'm not doing it to spite them.
Okay.
I would never live my life to spite my parents. That's a lot of fucking energy, and I don't have energy to be doing that. But I know that when I complain, like, when I say the faults I see and, like, wanting to be married so bad, it's gonna seem like it's because I don't like I don't like my parents, but that's just because, like, I had living, breathing example of, like, the negative connotations with being married from my parents' expectations of marriage. So it just sucks that it had to be them. Yeah. But if it wasn't them, it was going to be somebody else, because society, you hear all the time, especially being Nigerian. Yeah. Somebody graduates from college. The first thing they'll ask her is, okay, so where's your husband?
It's barely even that, girl. Really, well, I guess for some people, but, like, I know even some people, like, after they got out of high school was already, like, where's the guy? It's like, how am I supposed to find a guy if that whole time you were telling me that I can't date? And that's what I appreciate about my dad, because I'm also Nigerian, but I'm half Nigerian or whatever. So, but my dad is, like, the epitome of, like, someone that's not very, like, into, like, Nigerian culture. He's very Americanized. He's, you know, came here when he was 18 and stuff. So, like, his views on a lot of things are different than a lot of, like, stereotypical Nigerians would feel. And he's never, like, ever put any, like, feelings in me or told me that he feels like I should be married at any certain age, you know. Only thing that he stressed a lot was me not being in a relationship with anybody. You know what I'm saying? So if he ever came to me and was like, oh, where's the guy? I'd be looking at him like, are you sick? You know what I'm saying? Like, all that time where you told me I couldn't do this, couldn't do that, I better not be talking to a boy, it would be absurd to me. He would look so dumb to me if he came to me telling me that. So, you know, I appreciate that I haven't gotten those vibes, you know, from my mom or my dad, because, you know, it's not a good feeling to have your parents... I'm assuming that it's not a good feeling to have your parents down your back about something that's, like, I mean, I don't feel like it's that serious. You know what I'm saying?
Me neither. And I really don't. And I feel like, and, like, it's like, dang, I really feel bad for them, because I feel like they didn't think that they were doing this. But maybe also, because I know I'm
video, not... Remember? That
the Asian girl.
The Asian girl, her mom felt that same way. Like, she felt like she wasn't putting a lot of pressure. I know she was. Yep. Even though she was saving face. Sweet. She was saving face for the video. I knew that she definitely probably was, you know, because I feel like every culture that's not American, they stress it so much. You know what I'm saying?
Because I feel like,
even though I didn't see it from my dad, I saw it from my aunts on my eldest cousin. Yep. They stressed it. Like, you don't think anyone's like, you don't think she doesn't know? Like, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, even if she does know, does it matter?
To me, it doesn't matter that much.
You know what I mean? Let her live the life she wants to.
And I think that they don't understand that we don't see it the same way that they see it. Yeah. Because, like, I feel like back then, people used to get married to elevate their social status. Yeah. And, like, their economic status. Yeah. So it's like, if I don't need to do that, if I don't need a guy to do that, then why would I force it? Yeah. Like, and my parents, and basically...
And it's almost like you're not getting married for love anymore.
Exactly. It's very annoying to me. That's what I don't want. And I feel like maybe if I had... And honestly, the reason I kept saying that I don't know if my feelings would change once I get a boyfriend is because I feel like if I had been dating all throughout my life, like, you know, at least from high school, then it would be something that would be appealing to me. But I wasn't even allowed to. And actually, even if I wasn't allowed to, if I wanted to, I probably would have been able to sneak. Everyone does that shit.
You would have what?
Been able to sneak a boyfriend. You know, we just not gonna hang out after school. But I actually didn't even care. So my parents were stressing, make sure you're not hanging out with any boys. They'll be trying to kill themselves. And there I was, actually not giving a fuck. Like, I was like, I'm really not talking to any guys. Like, I'm not really worried about guys like that. So, like, my parents were stressed out for no reason because I was social. So they felt like, oh, she's social. She probably has a lot of guy friends. Pregnancy. Like, I'm not, like, feel like you should have a little more faith in me if you raised me how properly you felt like you raised me. So, whenever I got to college, my second semester of my freshman year, my dad called me. He was like, Vi, you know, I know you're 18 now, and you're in college. I just want to let you know that it's okay if you start dating.
like he's giving you the baton. You can go ahead and start now.
And you should have seen how I looked at my phone.
Your parents feel as though you're just like supposed to live your life by their beck and call, and every word when they say go, you go, when they say stop, you stop. I don't like that. I really, really don't like that. Like, and I'm not speaking on her parents. I'm really just thinking about my own.
My parents are also not, like, it's just an example.
Yeah, it's really just an example.
They're
like, parents do that. Like, they really like to do that little stop and go thing. When I say go, you go, and when I say stop, you stop.
And it really just, and it sucks. It sucks because I know that was not their intention.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how when they were raised, but everyone in your area was raised like that, and also that's a different time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. I don't think they realize the generation gap, the culture gap, and it's like the financial gap. Like, I don't need to get married to a guy to do well for myself. And my parents, luckily, they also want me to, like, be successful. Mm-hmm. My mom and my dad actually have two different viewpoints. They both want me to get married. But my dad was telling me, this was so funny. When I had graduated high school, I thought he was joking. He was like, yeah, by 21, I expect you to be engaged, if not married. And I remember I had just laughed at him. Okay, I'm 21 now.
Wait, so it wasn't a joke?
It was. I thought it was joke. I thought it was jokes. Okay, I'm 21 right now. Can you imagine me?
At least if they're gonna say that, can there at least be a guy lined up? Can there at least have been a guy lined up?
I don't want a guy lined up because they're.
But no. At least let there have been a guy lined up. It doesn't. Where is he gonna come from thin air? Please tell me. Is God gonna make him right now in my face? Like, it doesn't make sense. And so it'd be absurd.
And so I was laughing, right? Because I thought it was jokes. And he was like, "What's funny?" And I was like, "Oh, are you serious?" Then my mom said, "Nah, are you serious?" My mom looked at him. And then I saw them arguing, but like she looked like she was about to argue with him. I said, let me just leave because I don't want to be here.
You think it'll be flip-flop.
Exactly. But my mom understands. See, and this is why when dudes always say that girls want to be married so bad, I don't say anything.
Some do.
Because some do, but I'm just saying I don't say anything because I feel like you don't understand how it is to be a woman.
Yeah.
So my mom gets how it is to be a woman, to know that 21 is too early to be fucking married.
Because
at least for me.
They think that somebody wants to be married so bad that well, you know what? I shouldn't even say it as though it's not true. I was gonna say that it's as much they feel like women want to be married so bad that they'll just settle, which some women do. But I remember on Twitter I was like, somebody had posted something, and I was kind of in an argument with this guy on Twitter, and I was essentially telling him that I will not settle for a bum ass nigga
just so you can get married.
He was like, just wait. By the time you're
30 something,
yes, you'll be wanting to. Okay. If that's true, I'll come and pay you. I'll come back to the tweet and I'll pay you. I'll pay you money. Like, what? Do you really think I want to just settle? I'm just supposed to just settle my life.
Maybe the older
my whole life. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because people think that they know you. They have you figured out. Yep. If you only knew my family dynamic, you wouldn't be telling me that. I've seen a bad marriage. I know a bad marriage.
Yeah.
In my face, I've seen a bad marriage. So if you really think that I'm going to sit there and settle for someone that's trash, you got me really fucked up.
Just to come and boast that you're married. It's not a boasting point.
Exactly. You're married. That's why you... what did that girl say on Twitter? She was like, that's why you bitches aren't married. Get married. That's why you didn't... Okay, bitch, all right. And I'm not married. And what about it, ho? You think you better than me because of that?
Like, no. Literally.
Oh, that's the same with people. Some people now. You don't got a man. Okay.
I said, so what? You have a man.
It's really sad that's all you can live up to.
Exactly.
That's sad that all you can live up to. That's being married. You're married and what else do you have?
Nothing. Nada. Not shit.
You want a cookie, bitch?
They really do. They really want somebody to come and give them trophy because they're married. Like, no, look. I
don't even have no strong feelings on marriage where, like, I don't like marriage or anything like that. Y'all know that.
Yeah.
It's just like when people idealize it like that, I think it's a sickness. It's an issue.
It starts getting annoying.
When it's really the only thing that you can live up to, maybe, okay, hey, that's okay. Everybody has different goals in life. You know what I'm saying? But to come and like take it and try to rub in people's faces,
as if they have the same goals as you, like as if every woman is supposed to have the same exact goal. Like, oh yeah, I'm going to school to find a husband. I'm going to these classes, dressing nice to find a husband. And once I find a husband, my job is done. That's not what I'm going to school for. I don't give a fuck if I find a husband in school. But you know why? Because I'm not looking for a husband. Like literally, I couldn't give less of a shit. Like I don't think people understand that people don't really, like, everyone doesn't really care about that. Obviously, Cleo, it's a goal. Like, it's something that she sees herself doing in the future is getting married. But she's not working and she's not in school to look good so she can be attractive for the eyes of a man.
Yeah.
I feel like when my parents would try to scare me, they would use that as a way to scare me. Like, oh, you can't cook, no one's gonna want to marry you. I used to have really bad like anger problems because my dad has anger issues.
Yeah.
And I used to have like a bad temper. So I would like snap like that. My mom, my dad, here they come. You have anger problems, you need to work on that. You're not gonna hold a relationship. No one's gonna want to marry you, be divorced. And I would look at my dad and say, you have anger problems. I told him, I said, you have anger problems. Yeah. So he said, okay, but I'm a man. I said, okay. So because I'm a woman.
All that stereotypical.
See, and so it's like, because I'm a woman, now I can't have feelings that are seen as aggressive. That's why when people call me aggressive, I be looking like, how am I aggressive?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I probably have aggressive qualities, but it's like the things that people call me aggressive for, like, I know I'm an aggressive person. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm passive. No. I know I'm aggressive, but you need to call me aggressive for the right reason. If I am not interested in your friend, I say, I'm not interested, straight like that, how is that aggressive? That's not aggressive. I be getting called aggressive for like minute shit. Exactly. It's like, I'm not an aggressive person for just telling you how it is.
Yeah.
I'm an aggressive person if I'm really trying to beat your ass in public.
Yeah.
For not opening the door for me.
Yeah.
Like, that's aggressive. Like, I just feel like you guys, like, it's okay. So I'm a woman. So I need to look good because I need to attract a man. Your problems and the fact that you're a guy and you have anger issues shouldn't matter because you are the one that is gonna buy me. Like, so I feel like that's where the blocker was coming from. And I do understand where she's coming from because I feel like that from how my parents talk about marriage and how they talk about me being groomed to be a married person and a wife. It's like, I don't want you to teach me how to cook so I can feed my family every time. If you don't know how to cook, how are you going to feed your husband? How are you going to feed your kids? Who told you I wanted that? Who told you? And I would tell them, and you know what's funny? I've been telling my parents since fucking high school, because that's when I was like, okay, maybe they'll listen to me. I don't think I want to be married. Why are you saying that? Stop playing. They'll tell me to leave.
Yeah.
When my dad called me on the phone and told me that, I was just like, okay, well, I don't really... I said, it's fine, I haven't seen anyone. He's like, no. If you see a nice, a hardworking Nigerian boy, preferably Igbo, because I'm Igbo, that's my tribe. I want you, to talk to them, and if they're handsome and they're good looking and they have their head on their shoulders, I trust your judgment. I know you wouldn't just talk to anybody that doesn't have their life together. Then it's okay with us. I just want you to let you know, me and your mom, it's okay. I said, okay, thank you, because I just want the conversation to be over. I said, okay, thanks, thank you for the permission. Like, I really needed it. Like, I don't want to be, like, it's not that serious for me. So it's like, I did not need your permission because I really wasn't even looking for that. But I mean, thank you for giving it to me now. But if you're giving me permission at 18, okay, let's say I even wanted to be married. You're giving me permission at 18 to start dating. For the first time, my first boyfriend, I had him at 18. You expect me to be married to him at 21? Like, that's the first and only person I'm going to be with? Because I'm not going to marry you after 6 months.
Definitely not.
I'm gonna have to like known you for some time to get to know you. So my first and last boyfriend will be my husband.
And there's definitely nothing wrong with getting to know. I that's one thing I really want to stress. There is nothing wrong with getting to know the person you're with. Okay, the last thing you need is to end up with somebody. Okay, getting married to somebody. God forbid you have a kid, and next thing you know, you're showing your bad relationship habits to them. Because I went through that. So trust me, you don't want to just hop into anything and be getting married by 21 just to be getting, I met the person 2 years earlier and woo, I'm gonna marry now. No, please. Unless you really, really want to. Okay, sure. You know what I'm saying? But like, please be conscious. Let it be for yourself. Exactly. Be conscious that if you have a child and your relationship is not good, it's gonna have an effect on them. Okay. I'm living proof that it's gonna have an effect on you. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to be mindful about this stuff. But
I was also gonna say that Cleo. Okay, so her parents don't have the best relationship. My parents, at least in my front, have a nice relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like what I can see, they have a nice relationship, and we feel the opposite. Like, you would have thought that I would be like, oh yeah, I want to get married, and she would have been the one to say she doesn't want to get married. So people's upbringing, yes, can have an influence, but it's just like, just because someone says something doesn't mean that you know how they were raised. Because I feel like when people say that they don't want to get married, like, oh yeah, it's just because your dad wasn't home or your parents. No, that's not true. Like, there's other factors. Or sometimes people can come from a loving family, but they just know that that couldn't be them. Like, everything is not for everybody. Like, I didn't come out of my vagina with a male partner to be like, oh, you know, this is who I need to be with for the rest of my life. I don't like how when parents talk about getting married, it seems a lot of the time, at least from the Nigerian community, I'm not even going to put this on my parents because other Nigerian parents do this too. For the Nigerian community, for the parents that are on the traditional tip, on the cultural side of it, they always want to say that their kid is married to say that their kid is married to their friends so they can boast about it. Like, I feel like you're not happy that I'm getting married because you're happy for me, but so you can have bragging rights. Like, oh yeah, my daughter is married. My son is married. Okay. Like, my daughter is in this school. My daughter is in that school. Like, for Nigerians, your kids are your success. So if your kids are unsuccessful, you are unsuccessful. Even if you are rich, they'll be like, okay, what are your kids doing? So I feel like that's why I feel pressure. Like, I sometimes feel bad, like, I really don't want to do this to them. But it's like, I'm not doing anything to you because I'm not getting married because of you. It's just, I really just, you know, if it doesn't happen, then it's fine with me. I'm not going to try so hard so I can get married so you can say your kid got married. But it just sucks since I'm the first girl. They told me, like, oh yeah, you know, you're probably going to be married before your brother. They want my brother to get married too. So, I mean, at least it's not just me. But it's like, I just feel like they're going to be very disappointed when they start to actually realize that I was not joking. I've been telling them this since 10th grade. Every time I tell them, they laugh it off, or they tell me to stop playing, or stop speaking bad energies into the air, like, oh, you know, you'll change your mind later. And it's like, at this point, how many years has it been? It's been like 6-7 years, and my mind has not changed. So it's like, I don't know if it'll change later. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. But yeah,
I wanted to kind of transition it and ask you a few other questions. So do you think that you have to live, this is if you end up, you know, not getting married, but in a relationship, partner. You know, I have a partner or whatever, marriage to whatever. But do you think that you have to live with someone before you get married?
I would.
Okay.
I would.
Why would you?
I would live with you because living with somebody and dating somebody without living with them is different. Because, example, I've roomed with someone that I was friends with, and we're really, really close, so that's why we decided to be roommates. But then when we roomed together, like, we ended up finding out that we're not compatible. As compatible as we thought, because we're with each other 24/7. So it's like, I would want to live with you so I can see your habits. I feel like when you're dating, you kind of are trying to be the best version of yourself. You can only do that for so long. Like, if I'm living with you in the same house, there's things that you're not going to be able to cover up. Like, even though after, you know, it's still like, I guess, honeymoon stages, like they like to say, even if after they get married. But since you're living with someone for so long, like, there's going to be some things that, okay, you're prepared for. Like, after you get married, it's not going to be a shock to you. Like, oh my God, I can't believe they do this and I hate this so much. It's not going to, like, you're already going to get used to it. So I would say that it makes sense to live with someone before you marry them. You?
I feel like,
no,
I was talking to someone on the phone about this. I feel as though, like, I don't have a strong opinion on either.
Oh, really?
I honestly have no idea. My sister, like, she lived with her husband before, you know, they got married and stuff like that, and, like, things worked out for them and stuff like that. Mind you, they had literally been in a relationship for, like, maybe, like, 10 fucking plus years at that point. So,
really?
Yeah, they've known each other, or, like, they really got in a relationship when they were, like, in middle school.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, around that time. So, you know, I don't know. Like, I could see the benefits. Like, what you just said makes sense. You know what I mean? I know people say they wouldn't for based off, like, a religious standpoint. And I noticed a lot of the older women in the video that we watched also thought that they don't agree with it or whatever. They all had different reasonings and stuff like that. But it just says in the Bible that you're not meant to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're not meant to live with your, like, partner before.
Oh, snap. Girl, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just, I knew sex, but I didn't know.
Yeah, you're not supposed to live with each other either.
Oh, works.
So, yeah, I don't know, y'all. I can't really give you an answer. It's really up in the air about how I feel. But, like, if I'm ever in a relationship where I'm with someone, like, you know, super serious and stuff like that, then, I mean, I'm sure we discuss it and decide and stuff, but, I mean, I don't know.
You don't know? Okay, cool. Look. So, I remember earlier you had said, you don't really, like, see, like, I guess it as a goal, but, like, it's something that you would do. And you were talking about you more imagine your, like, self, like you imagine yourself more with, like, who, like, the person that you're going to be married to. So, you have, like, an ideal partner. Like, it doesn't have to be traits, but I mean, it could be like you have age restrictions, race restrictions, like job, shit. Like, do you have like?
I don't have a lot. Like, I don't have a lot of like restrictions. I know a lot of girls have a lot of restrictions. Like, for me, I just want you to be a good fucking person, and that seems like today and age, it's a lot to ask. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care what race you are. Like, height is really not a big deal for me. Like, some people, like, if we're literally the same height, I'm not gonna trip. I know some people, it's an issue. You know what I mean? Like, as far as like job and stuff, like, you could be a creative person, you could be a fucking doctor if you want. Like, you know, for me, honestly, it really doesn't matter. Like, it's more of just like our connection and stuff like that. Like, I just want to be in like a good, honest relationship. Like, honesty and like trustworthiness is something like I now, after my last relationship, know that that's something that's really, really important to me. You know, because it's not a good feeling to not trust your partner. You know, it's not a good feeling to not have honesty in your relationship. So to me, that's what's most important. You know, as of now. And like, once I meet the right person, or like I go on dates with people, like from then I kind of Jesus Christ, start to kind of like, you know, pick out what I do like and don't like, and you know what I mean, and weed out the wastas.
Jesus,
the wastas from there.
Okay. So let's say that you find someone, that you like a lot. And I know you said your parents weren't like up your ass about marriage and stuff. Yeah. But what if like your parents just were not feeling him?
Oh, like, if they were not feeling him?
Like at all.
Oh, gee. You know, I never thought about if they didn't like the person.
Oh, really?
I mean, I always potentially feel like they do. I know I have a tendency, like, especially with my last partner, like, I know with him, like, I kind of try to, well, when it was, well, not really my mom. My mom is really chill, y'all. Yeah. Like, she's very, very chill. So usually with her, like, probably the only issue is if they have like tattoos, but like she would get over it. You know what I mean? But like for my dad, it's a big deal. Like, introducing someone to my dad, I get really scared because like he's just a really intimidating person, you know? So for me, like, I care a lot about his, you know, opinion and stuff like that. But, you know, if I really like the person and I really love them, well, I guess I just have to get over it. Because my dad didn't like my sister's husband when they
really?
were first together. Yeah, he really didn't like him at all. So, I mean, and he got over it. You know, if I really, really care about the person, I really love them, and I know for sure that this is the one for me, my dad is just gonna, my parents, both of them are just gonna have to get over it.
Wow.
Sorry. I don't do that. We're not bending and confiding for you, because at the end of the day, it's my life. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to have you run every single part of my life. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? My dad likes to already run, you know, the career side of my life. I'm not going to have you now run this relationship or any other aspect of myself. And even with the career thing, like, he, like, as time has gone on, like, he knows that
he's eased up on it.
He's eased up on it, because at the end of the day, I'm going to do what I want. You're not going to stop me from doing what I love. You're not going to stop me from pursuing who I love. So, you know, you might as well just get with the program. How do you feel? Please, I want to hear this, because this is going to infuriate me. I hate hearing people. I just hate hearing people that they feel like they have to conform for their parents or conform the relationship for their parents, because at the end of the day, it's my relationship. It's not yours.
I know. And I feel like, okay, look, it's so weird, because so, like, you guys, I feel like you guys need to understand how my brain is trying to process the fact that after a certain point, I'm not going to be young enough for my mom to kind of brush off, like, I guess, suitors. She used to do that, like, or at least when my dad started, like, jokingly, well, my dad's friends started jokingly, quote unquote, you know, recommending me for their damn sons and stuff. What time? When I had turned 16, okay? So I turned 16, and, like, you know, people would come over to the house. They'd be like, oh, yeah, your daughter, how old is she? Da-da-da-da-da. She's really pretty. Oh, you know, she da-da-da, my son. And my dad would be, he would call me downstairs, and he would have me introduce myself and stuff, and I just felt like cattle. Okay, it was so weird. And so my dad is like, he plays around a lot, so I know a lot of it is like halfway lighthearted. But just because it's halfway jokes doesn't mean, like, what's the other half? It's like halfway serious. Like, okay, you know. And then when people would leave, or even if like they didn't say anything to me, but they gave like my parents a compliment about me, like when they're leaving, like, oh yeah, your daughter, she's so well behaved, she has really good manners, you know, she came downstairs and we finished eating, nobody even asked her, and she took the plates away, she was washing the plates, da-da-da-da-da. When they leave, my mom will come so excited to tell me, oh, Vi, you know, people were saying this and this about you, people were saying this, like, you're so well behaved, you know, you showed that we raised you right today, I'm really proud of you for not embarrassing them. Okay, so but I got to a certain age, it kind of became like, especially, once I turned 18, I don't know if these people sent out a group message that I was 18. I was old enough, but all of a sudden, oh yeah, you should come to this party with us. You should come to this party with us so I can be paraded around. My parents like me to go out with them so other Nigerian parents can see me. And like, maybe if someone, they said that's how you get connected. Like, maybe somebody will see you and they'll see your behavior. You never know who's watching you. You always need to make sure you're on your best behavior. It's like every time I go out with them, it's like I'm basically in an interview. Like, every single time is like, I don't care if these people feel like I made a rude face when somebody said something stupid. Oh, you need to stop your faces. You're gonna ruin your chances of finding somebody. You know, people are gonna think that you're away even though you're not. They're gonna think bad things about you because of the way you respond to things, even though I know you're a good child. Like, I don't care what this old ass lady has to say about me to her son. Probably 9 times out of 10, I didn't want her son no fucking way. Like, I don't want these crusty people. Like, no. So I already know that, like, that was kind of throwing me off. So when I process me not wanting to get married, like, or me not being excited about it, or like just dreading the age where, like, I'm kind of dreading turning, like, oh my gosh, every single time my birthday comes around, I get sadder and sadder. I'm not gonna
really?
lie. Yes. Like
because you're getting older?
Because I already know, like, the pressure's gonna come down heavier.
Oh.
Not really because I'm getting older.
That's sad.
Because, like, I don't want to turn, like, I really am dreading turning 24, like 24, 25.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you guys understand. Like,
damn, that's really hard.
Like, I really don't, because I already know, because when my cousin came, to live with us, she had just finished pharmacy school. Okay, someone that just graduated school. Why was her parents and my parents up her ass about making sure that, you know, she didn't wait too long to get married because she needed to be a good age to have kids? Wow. As if they knew she wanted to have kids or something.
That's crazy to me. Like, and then what's funny is, like, when I think about like age, or like me turning 24, or what I'm most worried about at this point in my life is literally like what I'm going to be doing for a job, like my life, like, am I going to be able to live on my own? That's my main goal. I want to move out, live on my own, and care for Cleo, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, provide for myself, like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't, like, it's not that I can't think of another person, but like, I just don't think of age and think, I'm not gonna have marriage and kids. Like, sometimes I do, don't get me wrong, you know what I mean? But like, that's not my main thing that pops up in my head, you know? So that's just crazy. Yeah, like, they were trying to hook her up with people. Like, I think at this point she was like 26. Yeah. And they were up her ass talking about she was getting old, like she needs to hurry up. I'm like, yo, this lady, like, she literally just got her master's. Like, why are we acting like she's just been sitting around, like, saying she wants to be married and not doing anything to, like, she's been working, she's been in school. Like, that's not what she's worried about. Like, it's not like pharmacy school is easy, that you could just be out here trying to get married. So when she finished, they were lining her up, putting her on dates, suitors. Why the fuck were these dudes like 38, 37? She's 26. What, she can't find a dude that's like 28? They always do that though. The my older dude and the young girl thing is, and it's like, and I'm just like, okay, you're saying she's getting old and she's 26, so you don't think that this guy's too old to be married? Well, no, girl, you know they don't think about guys in the same way. No, but I'm saying, okay, I know that they don't think that he's too old to get married, but I'm saying, you're telling her that she's gonna look weird if she gets to 30 and she's not married yet. Okay. Homie is 38, 39. You don't think in your head, what is wrong with him that he hasn't been married yet? Yeah.
you're trying to hook her up with him.
Yeah.
Like, she's old or something. Like, even if she was old.
To me, I'd be thinking that same thing.
Like, what's wrong with him? Like, if it's
sorry,
different,
niggas.
If he,
it's 30,
exactly.
almost 40, I will definitely be looking at you.
Exactly.
And thinking, why
are you trying to
what's
talk
going
to me?
on? Not even why are you trying to talk to me. Like, we'll deal with that later. But what's going on for you not to be married?
See, and that's how I feel. Especially if you tell me that you know that you want to be married. Like, oh yeah, I want to get married. I see myself getting married and having kids.
And now you're rushing. What kind of bad qualities do you have? Because I bet you, guess what? If I rush and I get married, probably within the first week I'm gonna need my ass beat.
Yep.
Black and blued. Who knows? I might get fucking killed.
Exactly.
Because they be the main ones. I hate to say it. That's probably stereotypical, but it's the truth.
It is.
Domestic violence is real out here, y'all. And I'm telling you, half these people, they like to trust me. I know that. They like to shield their bad qualities until they trap you in, and then they start showing all these bad qualities and expect you to just deal with it. You know what I'm saying? Because guess what? They like to guilt trip you and be like, well, you're 30. You're 30. You're 30. You're 30. You don't want to be 30. You don't want to be 30 and divorced. You don't want to be 30 and divorced. You don't want to be 30 and single. You know what I'm saying?
Like, and
it's all that pressure. It's like,
it's just not appealing. Like, honestly, marriage to me is not appealing. And I feel like, you know what? Let me re-answer your question from the beginning. Yes, society has played a part in how I feel about marriage.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking when you asked, like, in like a positive light.
Oh no, I was not thinking a positive light. I guess it should have been more specific.
But
in my head, anytime someone brings up society,
it's just usually a negative connotation.
Negative.
Oh, okay.
You know,
okay.
How often is it?
So then, yes, especially for me, because my society, and also because of the culture that I grew up, like I was raised in, and then the culture that my parents value so much.
Yeah,
it's very like marriage based, especially if you're a woman. And the fact that I'm like I'm supposed to be the role model for my siblings. My parents literally tell me if I don't get married, my sisters won't get married.
Maybe not. Who cares?
But
I mean, that's not true. But
exactly, like
I'm just saying, maybe not.
So it's like, okay, so my sisters are literally watching.
Like, do you even know what they feel about that?
My sister, it's so funny because the one that's right under me. She don't want to get married either, and I know it's not because of me. I know it's not because I didn't even whenever
I'm telling you, your parents and in society too can really play a big role in how you feel about it.
Because like every single time my parents talk about it, like she literally rolls her eyes so hard, and she's like, oh.
And I feel like for me, the reason why I do want to be in or married or or whatever is because I've seen what a bad marriage looks like, and I just know I know it's got to go up from here. You know what I mean? So I guess it's like I when I think about it, I just think of like a really happy situation for myself. You know what I mean? Because I only wish that for my my parents and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I just like whenever I think about marriage, honestly, the first thoughts that come to my head are like constriction and compromising. Where I'm compromised, where it's like I always have to compromise because I'm the woman. Yes, because every single time my parents bring up what I need to be married, it's like I'm not allowed to say what I think.
Yeah,
I'm not allowed.
It's like you're always conforming yourself. It's like, stop doing that and do this. Stop doing that and do this.
Like literally,
don't do this and do that.
Literally,
move your head and do that. Your head's too big and be like that. Your teeth's too big and be like that. Like
my mom is so scared of me getting fat. My mom, she has a fat phobia.
I think a lot of moms are like that, because my mom was like that on my sister.
Really?
Yeah.
She was but it was
bad.
Did she tell your sister like, oh, no one's gonna marry her if she's fat?
I don't know. Maybe.
Oh, that's
she has done some some mean stuff. I don't feel comfortable saying it because it's not my story.
Yeah.
But I know there's been times when my sister has cried and stuff like that about stuff that my mom has said, and it hasn't just been my mom, and my dad too. You know what I mean? Because my dad don't care. Well, I don't even got to tell you. Nigerian men just seem to not have any boundaries when it comes to like their daughters. They'll tell you anything. They don't give a shit.
Yeah.
My dad's told me that I look like a fucking prostitute before, so trust me. They don't have no boundaries. They don't give a damn. Oh, anytime I see my friends and they're talking about their dad's coddling them, I said, not my dad. My dad don't do no coddling here, bitch. He beat the shit out of us. I had friends that were like, yeah, my dad would never hit me. I said, oh, wish that was my life. My dad beat the shit out of me.
Yeah, so whenever I like think about marriage, I'm just like, okay, I know I know for a fact that this is not an important like phase of my life.
Mm-hmm.
So I need to find a way to get my parents to understand that before, like, and like get it through their head, because I feel like they're in denial because I've been saying it for so long. They keep saying I'm going to change my mind.
Yeah.
So whenever I think about marriage, I'm like, okay, how am I going to get my parents to see it like how I see it? I'm like, okay, that won't happen. So when I think about getting older, I'm like, damn, I'm running out of time. Like, because I already know how it's going to be. Like, it's going to be so much pressure.
But it's like, how are you supposed to find the person?
I don't know. Because they will hook, like, because they will do it for you. They'll tell you, no, it's okay. That's what they did to my cousin.
If you went to your parents, you went to your parents right now and told them, Mom, I'm really ready to be married, they'll set something up?
My mom would not, because this is where my mom and my dad differ. My dad wanted me to be married perfectly at 21. He was telling me, other American kids your age do it. I said, oh, other American kids my age were dating when they're in middle school. So don't come and tell me about American kids now because you want me to be married at a certain age. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck. My mom, when my dad said that, she literally was like, stop saying that stupid to her, because she needs to finish school. She was like, once she finishes school, then she can talk about it.
Yeah.
So I know a week after my graduation, what it's finna be. Oh, your daughter Violet, we heard she finished school. My mom, she finished school, you know, so if you know anybody, you know, tell them, you know, give them my number. That's what they're doing to my cousins. They were up here lining her out with dates. These niggas were ugly too. Like, my cousin was ugly. I said, are you guys? And then my mom,
did she even end up getting married?
She ended up getting married, but she married somebody from Nigeria. Okay,
that she likes.
See? Thank you. I'm happy that you asked this question. You know what my dad came and did? My dad came to my room because the last person that she told me she was talking to was a Kenyan dude, okay? Yeah. And he's from New Jersey. Yeah. Because she's from New York. So it's like, oh, okay. You know, somebody she probably knows because she went to school in Jersey. Yeah. So I was like, oh, somebody she probably knows from school. Come to find out, like, I'm at school, and I come back home for like first semester after college. So it's been like, what, a year since, you know, they were hounding her about getting married and stuff. And like, that's the last time I heard her talking about someone, was when she said she was dating somebody. So they kind of eased up on it. Okay. Yeah. A year later, my dad comes and tells me that my cousin is engaged. Okay, engaged. And I was like, oh, to who? Because I was thinking it was the Kenyan dude, okay, who is Kenyan American. So he's American. My dad was like, oh, it's to a Nigerian guy. I said, oh, really? And he was like, yeah, from Nigeria. I was like, oh, is he here? Or like, did she meet him in Nigeria? And then he was like, oh, he met her in Nigeria. She met him in Nigeria.
So is she there now?
No, she's here. She brought him here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. I'm not saying that you shouldn't you shouldn't marry somebody from a different country. Okay. But I just know when I heard that, my face must have looked like Cleo's face just now, because my dad was like, oh wow. My dad said, oh wow, you're a tough chick, huh?
What?
I was like, what do you mean? Because I thought you were going to be more excited. I said, why would I be excited? I said, does she even like him?
That doesn't matter anymore.
I said, does she? No, I was like, does she even like him?
And
he was like, obviously, if she's engaged to him, why wouldn't she like him? I said, oh, because everyone's been trying to force her to get married. He's like, nobody forced her. Stop saying that. Nobody forced her. I was like, yes.
Someone to give the truth, bro.
I was like, yes, they were. And I was like, are you sure? I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I guess if that's what she wants to do. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay. Well, you need to, call her to tell her congratulations. I didn't call her. Congratulations for what?
Come and lie in the phone.
And so my dad, I think I even asked him, I was like, how long have they even known each other? This nigga said for like 4 months. Wow. It was months. Okay. Months.
You see what happens when people pressure you?
But they were engaged for a long time. I think they were engaged for like a year or so. But I was just like,
is that a long time?
I mean, compared to knowing somebody for 4 months and fucking proposing and saying yes.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's still short. I mean, don't get me wrong. Short. There's everybody has their time.
But she wasn't there. It's like just like she wasn't there. Like she wasn't living. They would FaceTime and Skype and like shit like that.
Yeah,
video. That's not to me.
You know how anyone could finesse that? Anyone could finesse that. You don't think I can get on FaceTime and finesse you?
Yes.
Hey, baby, I'll buy you this blah 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 up your ass, and then when they get here, you a different nigga.
Okay, so I wanted to ask Cleo what her views on traditional gender roles in marriage were. Okay, I'm going to be more specific.
Yeah, I was going to even ask that.
Okay, so traditional as in you are the wife. Not that you have to be a housewife, but that you are the cleaner, like the one who cleans and you cook, and you're more submissive.
No, I'm going to even just cut you off now. No. I'm sorry. And this is another thing. I'm going to bring it back to how I was raised. Mm-hmm. My dad, I feel like since he wanted a boy and he didn't get a boy, he raised the boys and me and my sister.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one thing he always taught us that we don't do. We don't do that. The women clean, which is funny because he kind of wishes my mom would do that. Well, she cleans and she's just a natural cleaner and stuff like that. But one thing he doesn't like is that she doesn't cook. Like, she doesn't really cook well. Because she doesn't cook for him, you know. She doesn't know how to make Nigerian dishes and stuff like that. Yeah. You know, so I always thought it was odd that he stressed that. But I feel like he just wants me and my sister, wanted me and my sister to know how to cook, like, really more for ourselves than for a guy. So nice. that's just, I was never raised like that. You know what I mean? The stress of cooking, the stress of cleaning was never for someone else. It was more for myself. My dad never wanted us to be, like, lazy bums that didn't know how to do anything. So I could appreciate that. You know what I mean? Those are qualities that you should really want for yourself, not for somebody else. So for me, I just feel like gender roles and like a marriage and stuff like that is not something that really should be stressed. Like, for as far as like cooking and cleaning, like, why can't we both, you know, do it? Especially for cooking. Like, my sister, she like sets out nights with her husband to like cook with him, like we cook together. Like, I like doing things like that, you know what I mean? Like, we can cook together. There's no reason for me to just be cooking, and then you come home and it's like, here, sir, here's your meal. Like, no, we're not doing that. We're literally not doing that. That something about that just it doesn't sit right in my spirit, you know what I'm saying? And I don't ever want to be in a relationship or marriage where I feel like I'm kind of
expected to do that.
Yeah, or I don't know, it just makes me feel like I'm being looked down upon, like, you, like, I don't know, like, just expected to just...
Yeah, I understand. I literally get what you mean, because...
Like, I don't want to make it seem as though it's a bad thing, because I know for some people, it works for them, and that's what they want to do. Like, you know, that lady in that video, this white lady in that video, she was saying that she really genuinely enjoys making food for her husband and cooking for him.
But that's not great. But that's not for everybody.
That's
you know
really great, and it's definitely not... It's not for me. See? You know what I mean?
And I also wanted to piggyback off what you said, because at this point, all our listeners, you guys already know. You can already guess what my answer to the fucking question would be.
Because I was going to ask her the same thing.
Yeah, obviously. Fuck no. I don't agree with the traditional roles. Yeah. I don't disagree, but I don't feel like that's
for her.
That's not the outline of marriage. Like, I don't need to follow this guy. Like, if I was to get married, I don't need to follow this specific guideline. And I know growing up, it just seemed like all the married people I knew, because all the families I hung around were all Nigerian. Yeah. So all the families I knew, it was like, that was the only way to be married, was to be doing all of this stuff. And so, like, growing up, I was just like, if I have to do all these chores for the rest of my life, all the time, then I just want to just take care of myself, so I can only just fend for myself and worry about myself. Yeah. So I was happy that my mom, you know, forced me to learn how to cook and stuff, because I like to eat. Like, I mean... I don't eat a lot like some people, like, but I don't enjoy cooking, but I cook because I know if I don't cook, then I'm going to die of starvation, or have to buy food out, and I don't want to do that. So I'm happy, you know, she taught me how to cook and stuff, but I just wish that when she was teaching me, and when they're stressing the importance of learning how to be independent, it wasn't to be so I can take care of a family. Yeah. Like, I really just wish...
Exactly. And don't get me wrong, like, I can cook for my future husband. Like, I have no problem making a meal for him, but I don't need it to be one of those things where it's like, you're the woman, you're meant to be doing that. Yeah, that's your job, and it's every night. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I want to do something nice for my husband, and it so happens to be me making a meal for him, trust me, I've done that in past relationships before. Like, I have no problem doing that. Yeah. But it was never a set requirement. That person never expected me to have food on the table when they came home. Yeah. Mind you, it wasn't a marriage, I understand, but still, you know what I mean? Like,
and you know what's funny? My dad actually does not do that. My dad, like, God. I've been to Nigerian people's houses where the wife literally is in the kitchen, cooking her ass off, and this man is sitting down talking, because, you know, I don't know if you know, but for our listeners who don't know, like, for Nigerian families, when people come over to your house, you have to, like, be very hospitable. You know, you bring out food, drinks, all that stuff. Yeah. So the people that usually do that are obviously the women. So, you set the table and you serve drinks, you serve food. And basically, me and my sisters are maids whenever people come to our house. And I'm not even trying to be, funny. That's really just what it feels like. Mm-hmm. And so, when people will finish eating, we come right when they're done. Yeah. We take the plate and we wash the dishes. And, we're just down there making sure that they're taken care of. Yeah. So we went to someone's house. Obviously, when you go to someone's house, they basically do the same for you. Yeah. But all her kids were young. They were low-key weren't that young, because when I was her kid's age, I was helping my mom. Yeah. But they were in middle school, okay? And there was only one girl and 2 boys. So they were upstairs playing games with my little sister. So her husband was in the kitchen. Was in the living room talking to my dad. And the lady was in the kitchen, and she had just got home from work. Mm-hmm. She's running around the kitchen trying to set food up in the kitchen when my mom is indispensable. She's doing some, what is it called? Predisposed? What the fuck? When my mom is doing something else when she's busy, mm-hmm. and we have guests, my dad will come and
preoccupied.
Jesus Christ.
I was predisposed. I was wait, no.
That's not what the fuck I was trying to say. When my mom is preoccupied, my dad will come and he'll come into the kitchen and he'll call us, but he won't be calling her name. Yeah. Okay, to come and do this, to do that. He'll do it himself. Yeah. So he'll set the table and he'll he'll bring the drinks out, and he just really likes, my dad really likes having company. People will come over. So he really enjoys catering to people, mm-hmm. which is kind of funny because none of his other friends I've ever seen them do that. We went to the lady's house, she just got back from work, she was out here running around the kitchen. Her mom actually had knee surgery. Wow. Why did this old lady get up to go to the kitchen to help? Because this stupid man told them that they needed to bring food out for the guests. So you want her to go? Mm-hmm. He literally watched this old lady pack rice in a plate, and she came and she served him first. Somebody that's older than him. I thought Nigerians were very big on respect. Mm-hmm. Respect of the elderly. Yeah. Why is it because that she's now a lady that you're comfortable with allowing her that just got knee surgery, literally limping? I was so uncomfortable. I got up because I kept asking. I was like, "Do you need help?" They're like, "No, you're a guest. Because I didn't really know them well. Yeah. When I saw her get up, me and my sister just made eyes at each other, and I feel like my sister feels more strongly about this, even though she's a less outspoken person. Mm. But she shook her head so hard and she rolled her eyes so hard, and she got up and she huffed and puffed, and she went to the kitchen. She was like, "Please go sit down. We'll take care of it." This lady limped back to the chair, and this man was really watching her as she set the table for him, and he started eating the rice and eating the fufu. Wow. I was like, your wife just got back. Go do something. And you know what's crazy?
That's actually sad. That's really, really sad.
You know what's crazy? This nigga is a bum. Sad. She's the one who makes the most money in the family. I know, because I be hearing my mom on the phone I'm not.
I couldn't do.
See? And look, and it's just because, just to be married because he's the man of the house. Man of the house doing what? Man of the house, you're not even making money for the house. So what are you the man of the house for? Because you have a penis and you're walking around the house? No. Mm-hmm. No, you're not going to be doing that to me. So it's just when I see shit like that, I'm just how important is marriage to you that you're willing to, take this type of behavior from your husband where he's disrespecting your mother? Mm-hmm. Why is she having to serve you? Are you okay? Are you crippled? Are you disabled? Nothing is wrong with you for her to be getting your food for you. So I most definitely do not agree with that. I feel like everyone can do for themselves. I'm not going to come and serve you. Yeah. Whenever we have parties, usually my dad will even tell the guests, serve yourself. Mm. He will tell them, serve yourself. So my dad is very, I guess, untraditional in that manner. That's really one of the only things I can say is that he doesn't pressure my mom to, have food ready. But he does expect me, as the daughter, to take over for mom. He's like, your mom, has taught you how to do this, so you need to be doing this. You shouldn't expect her to do it. I'm like, I'm not expecting her to do it. I'm just expecting the person that's hungry to make the food that they want to eat. I don't...
Exactly.
See, it's
I don't know. I guess it's just all about family dynamics and how you run your house and stuff, and what people are comfortable with. I just wouldn't want to be in a situation or put anyone in a situation where they feel uncomfortable with doing something that they don't. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to pressure my kids to feel as though, I don't know. It's weird because my dad, what you're talking about, mm-hmm. You know how your dad will expect you to
mm-hmm.
have food cooked if your mom mm-hmm. can't do so. My dad does that same thing, but with washing dishes or helping my mom here and there, which I have no problem with. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I just forget to do some of the things that she wants as far as cleaning, because my mom is a bit OCD, so she really likes things a particular way, and the way she wants it. So most of the time she'd rather just do it herself. You know what I mean? It's funny because my dad, if I forget to do the dishes, my dad will usually be the one to call me to do the dishes. Rarely my mom ever will do that, because she's just so into
particular,
like cleaning it and like putting it away the way she wants. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I can understand that too. Like, it's just one of those things. Like,
because like I agree with him. You know, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, my mom just got back from work. Because she's my mom, she birthed me. Yeah, now she has to take care of me. I'm old enough. Exactly. I can do it. But I don't like the fact that it felt like the only people that were getting badgered into learning how to do household chores like correctly was me. And then after, like, because I started like when I was 6. Okay, I started cooking in the kitchen when I was 8. My younger sister, because since I was always old, I'm always gonna be older than all my younger siblings. So since I'm older than them, they didn't have to learn how to do stuff as early as I did. But after they like reached like middle school, then my mom was like, okay, now it's your turn. So I would be there and then she would like teach them. But it's like, okay, what about my older brother though? Like, my brother cannot cook. Yeah. And now he's trying to learn.
That's what I think is so weird. So it's like, we having one kid that don't know how to do nothing.
See? Like, and my brother does not tell me that he's hungry.
It's all like,
if he came and told me, oh, I'm hungry, I would have been like, okay, that's not my problem.
Yeah.
But I know, like, I see him like with the recipes online trying to make some shit because he doesn't know how. And it's like, my mom, you should have taught him then. Yeah. Because if you're like, doing all this to teach me,
that's what I think is so weird. Too. Exactly. That's what I think. I don't like the idea of treating your boy one way and your girl one way.
Exactly. That's the thing I hated.
It's just so odd to me. Like, because everybody like that, and that's how my dad is. You know what I mean? I strongly believe. I don't know, but I strongly believe even if he had a son, you know, we had another sibling and there was a boy, that he would still encourage us all to know, you know what I'm saying? Because in his family, like, the way it was is that, like, he's not the oldest, he's the eldest boy, but my aunt is the eldest, and she was really the one that kind of like took care of them, you know, like when people were beating them up and stuff, like, she would handle it. So I don't know if like those, I'm not honestly sure if those, like, if that formed those identity roles, those gender roles held up in his house. I'm assuming they kind of did, you know what I mean? Just because of how he kind of expects my mom to like cook and this and that. But I don't know, in some ways I feel like my dad leans to his own understanding. Yeah. You know what I mean? He kind of raised us the way he wanted us to. So I feel as though if he had a son, like, it would have been like equal opportunity for all of us. You know what I mean? Like, we all need to know something. Yeah, that's good, because I just know that after like growing up how I grew up and seeing how even though my brother is like a good person, that he's just kind of handicapped in certain things that I feel like he should know how to do. I just felt like even if I met a guy who was a nice person, I would end up having to take care of him like he was my kid. And I was just like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, my dad, they do their own laundry. Sometimes they expect us to do it and iron their clothes and stuff. Yes, they used to get mad at us for not ironing their clothes. But he doesn't dirty his clothes up and call my mom to come and do their laundry. But I know some people, they'll... Sorry. Girl. No. Yeah. And see, I don't know, I guess my family dynamic is so weird. Like, the thing that's weird is that my mom genuinely likes to clean. And she genuinely likes to clean. That's really all she likes to do. She really likes to clean. So, like, my mom will do my dad's, laundry. You know what I'm saying? But he knows how to do it too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, I just don't like to look around and see a husband just sitting there. They're just sitting there and they don't know how to do shit. They're waiting for the wife to do everything. That's just sick of me. My dad will get his behind up and he'll cook for himself. He'll clean for himself. Like, he knows how to. And that at least I know that he knows how to. You know what I'm saying? He's able to. But then when you go and try to come and get them to come do it, they're like, oh, I don't know. See, no. If my dad was like that, girl, I would have been like, for sure, I'm never getting married. My parents, both my parents know how to take care of themselves. Yeah. But my parents just want me and my siblings to have Nigerian culture, and they just feel like that means that I need to be well-rounded in everything. And everybody should be well-rounded. See, but that's not how it is, though. Equals opportunity for all these niggas. Everybody can be well-rounded. That would be great if everybody felt like that, but that's just not how it was. I know. And it really just sucks because I don't think that they really thought it through. Because now my mom is like, you know what? If you have kids, then you'll set that example, and they'll see a difference. You know what I'm saying? And that's sometimes what I always think in in my head. Like when I see things go wrong in my family, or I see my dad implement things, or my mother implement things like that I don't like, as far as like reprimanding us and our behavior. We know this is more when we're kids and stuff like that, or how they treated us when we were children. I just keep telling myself like, okay, I know when I have a kid, I'm going to change this about this, and I'm going to do this about this. So, that's one thing that I look forward to, like when I do become a parent, because,
that's just, you could just like, not, I don't want to say make a better version of you, because you should not want your kids to be you.
Yeah, no.
But
I want my kids to be whoever they want to be.
You want all your kids to have
I just want to give them the best qualities that they
to be independent, like they don't need to rely on anybody.
I want them to be good people, you know what I'm saying? Like, and no shit, I don't want any of my kids, boy or girl, you know what I mean, to feel like they have to
rely on someone else to do some shit for them because they can't do it.
Or be handicapped to another person, or be waiting for a woman, or be waiting for a man to do something for them. Like no, you don't need none of that. I was not raised like that, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know anything else but how I was raised, you know what I'm saying? Or even if I was raised like how Vi was, or someone else was raised, like I would change it, you know what I mean? I would do something different. But
I totally agree. Okay, question, Miss, I'm looking forward to doing that for my kids. So what are you more I don't want to say what are you more excited for, but like when you think about your future, like do you get more hype about like marriage or about having kids, like or is it like equal? And it's just like, oh, it's going to be a process, a flow.
I feel like it would be more of a process and a flow. I never feel like really wanting kids. Like, most of the time I really feel like, nah, I can't have kids. Like, more of a think about now and present.
Oh, okay.
I don't, it's really,
you don't really think about your future like that.
I can think about my future, but I don't think about my future in regards to marriage and kids. Like that. Like, okay. I think about my future, like I said, more in regards to my career and how my life's going. Like, a lot of the time, like, majority every day, I sit back and I think, wow, Cleo, you can be doing so much more with fashion and, things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? Or, you could be doing this right now, or this and this and this and that. You know what I mean? So it's more in regards to like my career and stuff like that, rather than like kids and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to say like I'd be more excited for a kid.
Yeah.
Only because like I just feel like it's just one of those type of connections that you can't replicate. Like nobody out here will be half of you, like literally you made them. And like I honestly think birth is a beautiful thing, to be honest. Like I know when we were watching that video on YouTube, there was a few of the women, like, or the mothers, they talked about how they felt as though like birth was a beautiful thing, and they feel like everybody should experience it. Now I don't know about the everybody should experience thing, but I do feel like it is a beautiful thing. And I can't wait for it to happen to me.
Good. That's good. Yeah, when they were saying,
how you feel about kids?
Why did my heart just drop to my stomach when you asked me that?
That's not a good sign.
Oh my gosh, bro, I don't know why my heart just dropped. Like, woo, girl.
Are you nervous, Vi? Like, what's wrong, bitch?
I don't even know. When I think about children,
this girl starts getting the shakes.
Like, oh my gosh, I don't hate kids. Okay, I do not hate children. They're just there. Like, I'm really indifferent about kids. Like, a lot of people, I don't know if this is a flex when people say, they have baby fever, like if they're just saying that just because everyone says that, or if that's really a thing. But I do know one of my friends, like, she's like just can't wait to be married and to have kids, and she like already imagines herself and her husband like having little Christmas parties and dinners. I'm not even kidding, and you even know who I'm talking about. Like, and when she was talking about it, the smile on her face, I was just like, wow. And I tried it. I could not. I was just like, nope, it's not happening. Nothing is coming up. My memories, my creativity is just not there. Like, kids are cool. Like, I feel like everyone is not meant to be a mother, and I'm not even speaking in specifics to myself.
What is it? Just because you can't come up with something, or like what about it?
No. I just don't. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. And it's weird because I would actually say, I don't know, like, I would, because ever since I was younger, I knew that, like, I wanted to have a profession where I could, like, help other people.
Okay.
So when I was younger, I used to want to be a social worker, like, because I don't know, seeing other people's stories and just knowing that I was blessed in a different way than them. It's just, like, I feel like I can do something about it to, like, make someone else's life better. So I really wanted to be a social worker.
Yeah.
Like, I used to, like, tell my parents, and not to make my parents look bad once again, but they were just like, that's not gonna work out because you'll be broke and asking us for money, so we're not gonna fund you for that.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay, let me actually think about this, because that doesn't mean just because I'm not a social worker doesn't mean I can't ever help people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I need to be realistic. I need to have a job that will sustain me, because my biggest fear in life is being unable to do for myself, being broke.
I can't wait to have that discussion.
So like, I remember thinking, oh, you know what? I would probably just foster some kids, because with that I can have, an impact in multiple kids' lives, and not just one. Like, if I adopt, like, there's a limit to how many fucking kids I can fucking adopt. Like, unless I'm really just out here a millionaire, like, am I not gonna have to put these motherfuckers through school? That shit is expensive. So it's like, I really wanted to foster, and I still do want to foster. But when people ask me if I want, like, kids from my vagina, from my womb, it's just, no, not really. And then you know what I hear, and I always laugh when I hear people say this, because the people that always form lips to come and tell me this are always men. So you just want to be selfish because you don't want to ruin your body.
What? Where did you hear her say that? Where did they hear you say that?
And I'm like, how is me wanting to foster kids and not really wanting kids I push out of my vagina mean I don't want kids because I don't want to ruin my body? Like, just because someone doesn't want to give birth.
I've never really heard men, like, try to push that, though.
Literally, I was looking at him.
Maybe they do. I don't know.
I was looking at him and I said,
"What are you?" Abortion laws, so I don't know.
I was like, "What are you talking about? Like, that's not the reason why I don't want to have kids. I just don't really care for kids like that. Like, if I'm fostering, I'm not about to foster a 2-year-old. I mean, I guess I would, but it's like I would foster kids
it like
that
the
were
fact
like,
that they're too, like, you don't want to deal with the young part?
I don't even know. It's just all of it is a turnoff. Like, when I see kids and stuff, I'm just like, like, it's just like, oh, okay. But I feel like I just feel like foster kids that are past a certain age, they're overlooked. Like, there's so many, in my head, I'm just like, there's so many kids.
Grown kids.
Yeah, there's so many kids in this world that need parents, that why would I just feel like when people say that I don't want kids.
So you wouldn't want to just have both?
I could do both. I really could do both. But if you were telling me I could only have one kid, I would foster a kid before I did that.
Do you think for sure, in your lifetime, you'd want to foster a kid?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you would have kids? Technically you would.
Technically I would.
Because I'm talking about, like, okay, so like I said, you guys, we watched something on YouTube. So I'm kind of basing it off of what that girl said. This is the point that I'm going to try to make. But on there, the girl said that she does not want to have kids. So much so that she's willing to get her tubes tied.
Yeah.
So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that, like, when they brought up her, like, adopting, she didn't seem like she was, like, into that. You know what I'm saying? Oh. I don't know for sure because I ain't asked her and they didn't ask her. But I'm just saying, like, technically, I feel like you are open to.
See, but fostering is not the same as adopting, because you can give, like.
So you wouldn't adopt? I
don't know. Right now, no. When I'm talking about fostering, I'm not talking about adoption.
No, I know.
But if I foster a kid,
but I don't know if I said foster or adopting, but I'm pretty sure I might have said I'm pretty sure I said adopting, because that's what came to my head. So in my head, I'm thinking, would you adopt a kid? Like, would you adopt a child?
If I fostered a kid and I ended up, feeling like I couldn't just let go of them because I felt like that was my kid now.
But no, would you adopt one?
Then I would you like off rip, like going to adopt a kid without fostering? Probably not. I would foster a kid before I adopt a kid. I would foster a kid before I birth their kid. Okay. But if I foster you, like, and our bond is just like that, then I'm I'm most likely going to end up adopting you. Or I'll just keep you to your certain age, like to your 18. And it's like, you know, because I know foster parents, like, don't they get paid a little bit by the government to foster kids? That's why all these fucking people that are not qualified to be fucking foster parents, fucking foster children, and just molest these kids and abuse these children, and it pisses me the fuck off. Yeah. So it's like, I would try to foster as many kids as I want, as I can, as I'm able to, and you know, the little money that they're giving these motherfuckers to foster these kids, that's why I want to be financially stable, so I can be able to pay for their shit, and then when they turn 18.
What if you were with a partner, say you get married, whatever, or you're not married, you just have a partner, and they weren't down with that? They
weren't trying to foster? We will talk about that earlier. Like, you would have been on that. I was trying to.
But if they told you that, if you told them earlier on and they weren't down with it, would that literally be a deal breaker for you?
I don't want to waste my time, but and I don't want to say, oh, you might change your mind later. I might convince you, because deep down you didn't want to do that.
Because what if you told them at one point because you said from here you didn't want kids, so in their head they're like, okay, she don't want kids. I don't want kids.
But I would specify.
You would say, oh,
I would say, like, I really want to foster children. Okay. Like, having children of my own, I've never thought about that. Really, I haven't really considered it. But I know for sure I want to foster kids. Yeah. And if you don't want to foster kids, and you want a kid that's half of you and looks like you, and you want a kid that looks like you, which is obviously no problem. Like, at the end of the day, that's most people want to see a child that they birthed, you know, become great. Like, that's not, for me, that's not an issue. I feel like I don't need to create something to give them a great life when you didn't exist in the first place. Like, in my how I'm thinking about it is like, you never existed. So I don't need to create a being that doesn't exist to give that being that never existed a great life, when somebody that does exist is having a shitty ass life. And I could foster you and give you a better life, and maybe adopt you if I had enough money to adopt all the kids I fostered, or if I fostered you and I had enough money to take care of y'all until y'all became legal adults, and then, you know, gave the money that the government was giving me to y'all as, you know, okay, you know, you can still see me, I'm still your parent. Like,
so you don't care about, like, in your head it's never crossed your mind that, like, oh, I could have a kid that's my own. That's my own.
I have thought about that. I have thought about that. Like, okay, I could foster a kid and then have a kid that's mine. But then I've also thought, I don't want it to be, oh, you're treating me different because I'm not your kid, and I don't want to unconsciously do that if it would ever happen. Like, a lot of foster kids came from like rough places, right? So if I'm not able to get through to the kid I'm fostering, and I don't want it to be because they feel like I'm treating my, like, biological kid differently, because obviously that kid hasn't been through the trauma that said kid might have been through. Like, you might be a foster kid and not have how shit went wrong, but, you know, both your parents just died, type shit, in a, like, horrible accident, and you're an orphan. But if you've been through some stuff and, like, you're having behavioral problems, obviously I'm not about to be, oh, it's okay. No, I'm still like, you know, you need to get this and this and this together. Obviously I'm gonna get you, you know, what type of therapy you need to get your life back together. But it's like, I don't want you to feel like you're getting treated differently because I have a kid of my own, and you feel like, oh, well, you get treated different and she hates me because all of y'all are fosters. So it's like, and then it's like, I don't really, like, I look enough like my siblings, where if one of my sisters have a kid, I'd be like, oh, that's how my kid would have looked if I had a kid with this person. Like really, like, I feel like we look enough alike where it's, no, I really
that's
do
not how
feel
it
like
works.
That. I know it's not, but if it's just like, oh, just to see, because I remember when I told my friends, they were like, oh, so you don't want to just see, like, how you don't want to imagine, like, you know, aren't you excited to see how your kid would look with so and so person?
For me, it's not even how they look. I mean, their looks matter too, but I just want to see the personality traits that they get.
Oh no, everyone has always like looked for me. Like, they're like, oh, you don't want to. So I'm just like, no.
Yeah, no, it's
not really. I don't really care that much.
Because, you know, you just try so hard to just be. Well, some people try so hard just not to be like their parents, and you are.
Yeah, but I feel like that's from the raising thing also with the genetics.
Well, no, sometimes your mannerisms can be just the same. Like, my mom is I literally have a video of them eating the exact same way. Sitting next to each other and eating the exact same way.
And you feel like it's from genetics and not from, like, being raised? No.
They've been apart for who knows how long. You know what I mean? Things like that would have raised
your mom and who? Your mom and her
grandma.
mom? Oh.
They would have like, you know, you like some of those things, like you have to like something that you're implying, you'd have to be around that person a while, you know what I'm saying, or like still be around them to, you know, subconsciously be picking up some of the stuff that they're doing. But you literally pick up traits that, like, you know, that your parents do and you don't even realize. I can literally see you with your mom and see traits that you guys do the same. Yeah. You may not see it, you know what I'm saying, but I see it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Same with your siblings, you know what I'm saying? Same with me and my sister. Like, there's traits that we do similar, and you wouldn't even realize it, you know, unless we're together. I always just, like, put that towards, like, oh, you know, when you're raised with the person and y'all start to act the same. I never really thought it was. That's what I really just coined it down to. That's crazy. I didn't even. At least that's not how I view it. Yeah. Maybe that's how people view it, but that's not. I know for like, because like there's been situations or movies, I don't know about real life situations, where someone will be separated from their twin or separated from their parent. Oh shit! And then they come back together and they're like, for twins. Oh my god, their guys do the exact same thing. Like, you know what I mean? And that's how they know, like, oh, this is possibly my family, like my mom or my dad, or, you know what I mean? That's actually true. You know? That's actually true. So. Oh, that is true. I never thought about that. Yeah. But yeah, like, kids, I just, yeah, you know, kids are cool. That's just, and I feel like the nonchalance and like the non-excitement I have when saying that just means that I'm not meant to have a kid. You know what? Like it's not by force. Yeah. Because I feel like some people try to force it, and then their kids come out. It's like getting her, like, sis got her tubes tied, and that's what I was even going to ask you. So, would you consider getting your tubes tied? No, it's not that serious for me, because it's not like I don't think she wants kids. Period. I don't think she wants a kid that she adopted, a foster kid, a niece. Like, I feel like she doesn't want a little person around her. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't have that issue. Yeah. But I just know now. Oh, baby, the way these abortion laws are going, if they have abortion is banned in Texas, and I, for whatever reason, get pregnant, it's going to be a crude abortion. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that much. Are you serious? I'm not even fucking kidding. I need to be established before any type of kid is coming out. So all that fucking without a condom and all this, no. Nope. Unless I'm on birth control, and I'm not on birth control. So I probably would have felt like that when I was in high school. No. And I do feel like I'm a firm believer in I only want to have a kid until I'm literally financially ready to have a child. You know what I mean? But oh God, I really wouldn't want to be forced to have a kid. But I just don't know if I could go through with having a crude abortion. I could have an abortion, but well, I say that now. I don't know. Knowing me, I'm very emotional person, so I probably be like, oh my god, the baby, you know what I mean? Even though now I say, like, oh, nah, I could not have no child, but that's why I practice abstinence. Okay. For someone that has not had sex, but still. Which one's the one where you don't, where you're abstaining, right? Yeah. The one where you've had sex and you stopping is what's abstinence. Well, what's the other one? What's the other one then? What, the one where you're the one where you're a virgin and you've never done it. Oh, maybe I forgot it. Isn't this the same shit? I don't know. They're separate. There's something different. Girl, I don't know. I do not fucking know. Oh, I don't even know. Whatever you are. Okay. But look, because I just feel like the same way Cleo feels, I need to be financially stable before I even think about having kids. So my parents, they'll get grandkids most likely. You know, if it's a foster. Obviously, if I'm financially stable and I get pregnant, I'm not gonna go and get an abortion. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah. But it's like, am I sitting here thinking about how I'm gonna have Christmas with my in debt because of a kid? Because it's like, sis got her tubes tied, and that is permanent. Yeah. But being a parent is also permanent. I don't like in the video how they're trying to make it seem like it wasn't. Like, oh, you just need to do it to try it, experience it. Like, that's so forever getting your tubes tied. So was having a fucking kid. Yeah. That's more forever, because that's the issue. You're finna fuck up a real person if you don't really want a kid just to have a kid because you don't want to get an abortion or you feel like you need to. I'd rather get my tubes tied and not fuck anybody's life up than have a kid and then fuck my child's life up. Just because, oh, well. I feel like too many people view, like, the kid thing as, like, just, oh, it's just something we do on Saturday. Yeah, no. You know what I mean? That's not, and that's not what it shouldn't be. That's not what it is. It really shouldn't be a light situation. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. I think it's really kind of sad and messed up that that's how some people, you know, view it. You know, you have to really think like everything that you do is going to affect that kid and affect your child. You know what I mean? It's really important for you to care, you know, not just be having a kid and putting them in an environment where, you know, you're putting them in harm's way of people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Like you just have to be really mindful of those things. I know it's not easy all the time being like a kid in this day and age or whatever, or young adult, excuse me, not kid, but you know, it's still really important to still like be mindful of the decisions you make, because it's gonna affect that potential kid you have.
Yeah,
you know?
like
this is not a joke. It's not an experience and a fun thing to do.
Once you get pregnant, everything that you do as the person carrying the baby, the mother, affects that kid. Yeah. You're eating, you're drinking, all of that. So,
and I can at least say in that girl in the video and in reference to you, like at least you know and you take it seriously enough to know that I'm not gonna just have a kid willy-nilly to have a kid willy-nilly. Exactly, I respect that girl's view on getting her tubes tied. I respect your view on rather adopting or, you know, fostering, because, you know, there's people out here that are just having kids and then look. Why do you think we got some of these school shooters out here? Or any other situation of a bunch of different crimes. You know what I mean?
Like
you're just raising them any type of way,
or not even raising them, neglecting them,
or not really raising them at all. Exactly, not asking them how they're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want to be a very active, active parent. You know, chat to them. If I become a parent, like, and I feel like when I say, I'll be the very best parent I can be.
Exactly, I feel like when I say like, you know, I don't really see these things in my future. People just assume it's like I don't ever want to. Like I'm so against it. Yeah. No, like it's just 50-50 chance. Yeah. Really is what it is. So on the off chance that I do end up actually going the traditional route and getting married and actually birthing a kid of my own, like I really want to foster children so much. Like I need to do, you know, my due diligence and do my research and stuff on how to like, you know, go about that and like care for someone who might have been through some shit that I've never been through. Yeah. But it's like that I really just want to do that because I ended up not pursuing my the field I wanted to in social work, and I'm not feeling like this is a job or a project, but it's like if I was passionate enough to really want to do that, and me being so scared of being broke, and I really didn't care about being broke because I really wanted to do that, I just like I know that I have to. I really just feel like I have to. And I feel like the reason I ended up not even doing it was less of the money aspect, but because I knew how I can get like super invested emotionally and stuff, and it's like that job would literally kill me. Yeah. Like I would actually die. Like, so I just was just like, you know, maybe this is not a good idea. Like I'm gonna just, you know, do something else and just see what I can do off of that. Yeah. So yeah, I just feel like if I was to go the traditional route and like, you know, give birth to kids and get married and stuff, I feel like I don't have a requirement for my husband, but I really, really like love being Nigerian. Yeah. And I don't speak Igbo. I don't speak my language. I understand it. Like I understand everything. I can say some stuff, but I say I don't speak it because like I have to think about how I want it to come out for it to come out right, because my tongue doesn't move the way it's supposed to speak the language fluently. So I would want like my kid's parent to be Igbo, just so they could understand. Like I want my kids to understand Igbo because I feel like I understand Igbo, and I feel like I'm doing them a disservice because my ass, I can't fucking speak Igbo to them enough for them to understand it how I understand it. Yeah. So it's like it's gonna be hard to find someone that was raised here though. Yeah. That speaks it fluently. Yeah. So I don't really know about all that.
It just gets harder and harder these days, y'all.
It really like. But yeah, that would be really nice. It would be really nice. But yeah, you know, kids are cool. You know. Yeah. I don't have baby fever. Never have. I don't think I'll ever have that, to be honest. When I see little kids, I'm just like, oh wow. When they do stupid shit in the store and like annoying shit, I'm like, thank goodness I don't have one. And I see people calling kids cute, I'm just like, that kid is not cute. Ooh. Like it's just like nothing. Like even when I was taking care, and when I was younger, I used to love kids so much, and I feel like I really just feel like I mothered and wifed myself like to death. Yeah. Early on, and I just am like over it because when I was little, my parents used to love having me over when they had parties. Like they used to love having me around and like not occupied when their friends would come over with their friends' their little babies and stuff. I was the nanny. I would be 7, 8. I said breastfeeding. Burping the baby, feeding the baby, but you know, it was a little daycare in my room, and all my friends would be downstairs playing. I would be with the baby, and they used to be like, wow, she's such a good daughter. She's such a good daughter. And I used to eat up those compliments. And so I realized that these people expected me to act the same way until I died. Like, you know, people grow and they evolve and they change, and it's like, one day I just kind of stopped. And my parents were like, you changed so much. It's like, how, like, I'm kind of over it, like, now. Like, I've had all the kids I can have, and I didn't even birth any.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, that's all I did when I was little.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just, I feel like I'm just over it.
But,
I don't know do you have any more questions? 'Cause I think I'm finito.
I'm finito too. Okay, so guys, thank you for listening to this episode. And before we go, me and Vi are just gonna say our songs of the week.
Yes.
So my song of the week is Beef FloMix by Milli. So that's my song, y'all. I was singing it earlier in the car.
No, you look. Should be. Is it spelled like how it sounds?
Beef FloMix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
but
guys.
the flow don't have a W though. It's FLO.
Please listen to this song. Like, I just want y'all to hear this song. It's actually really good, but it's like on the corny side, and I love songs like that. That shit is funny.
It's like it's a rap song pretty much.
Yeah.
But
and
I'm trying to think about who she's like. Like to compare her to as far as the rap artist.
I think like the Dr. Seuss level rhymes remind me of Doja Cat, and that's why I like Doja Cat.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's
like it's like that.
How she is.
Yeah.
She has a Doja Cat vibe, but not really. Like her like rhymes or her like when she spits it's like kind of clever and funny.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so my song is LunchMoney Lewis featuring Doja Cat, Make That Cake. Doja Cat is my bitch, so you know I gotta put her in the fucking episode. Make That Cake is also like a get lit type of twerk song. It's cute, it's funny, so you should listen to that song as well.
Yeah, I heard it. It has a nice little beat to it, so
yes, girl, throw that ass to both these songs.
Oh my gosh, yes. So thank y'all for listening.
Okay, bye.
All right, bye.